All this story would start in the Tournament of Power. That's right, because the Great Priest had aroused an interest in the warrior's son Goku. So the whole Tournament of Power would look at his total performance. But his astonishment grew much more when Son Goku was able to achieve the perfect Ultra Instinct.
I understand that due to the pressure he was able to achieve the imperfect Ultra Instinct. But how was he able to achieve the perfect Ultra Instinct?
After a while, Goku had also lost that powerful state because his body was unable to assimilate all the incredible new power that he gave off from his whole body, so they had to unite their powers. The last three warriors being able to defeat Jiren, but sacrificing Frieza and Goku in their participation in the Tournament of Power, so Android 17 had won the tournament. Daishinkan would invoke the powerful god Zeno-sama, waiting the desire of the winning participant. So the android, he had asked for the restoration of all the universes eliminated by the King of Everything, but this desire, on the other hand, was counterproductive, because even in the alternate future of Trunks, Zamasu had returned to life, and even in the current timeline, the 6 destroyed universes had returned. With each of their gods, all the warriors had returned to their respective universes. But before Universe 7 leaves, both Zeno-samas had pounced against Goku, since both were very happy for the participation of his best friend and the new power that he had been able to retain.
I really appreciate your compliments. Although Jiren has not been a weak warrior at all, since we had to unite all our powers to be able to defeat him.
Mr. Goku, I'll grant you a few days to recover and spend with your family, as I have a great proposal for you.
Okay, Daishinkan, I'll be waiting for your visit to planet Earth.
The whole Universe 7 would leave for Earth, so all the warriors, including the deities, began to enjoy the great banquet, while Goku and Vegeta began with a great combat, with the intention that Goku will be able to activate the Ultra Instinct again.
Activate the Kakarot Ultra Instinct. I want to defeat you so that you're using all your power.
I can't activate it at will, but if you think I'll be able to put me on the ropes, I'll be able to activate it again.
Both Saiyans started with their great battle. However, Beerus, a little annoyed, would get in the way of both of them, granting them a few hits, sending both of them crashing to the mountains.
Damn worms, you just fought in a tournament. Stop kicking up dust and come eat or I'll eat all your food.
Both Saiyans went to Bulma's house, where everyone was present. After about 5 days, Goku was meditating in the mountains with the intention of being able to activate the Ultra Instinct, but it would be impossible for him.
This has been much more difficult than I thought. I thought that with a simple meditation it'd be more than enough.
Accessing the Ultra Instinct at will is one of the most complex trainings that exists. Moreover, not even a god's been able to reach such a state.
But if you're Daishinkan-sama, so you have really come, but tell me, what is it, that proposal that you want to offer me?
Son Goku, I want to grant you the position of Omnipotent Angel, a position to which even I haven't been able to reach because my power, however great it may be, is not unlimited, but his ability to increase his power has no limit whatsoever.
Goku could be surprised by the new proposition he was being offered.
But Daishinkan-sama, what do I have to do with that position?
Really? You won't have to do anything at all. But if a warrior were to appear, which even Zeno-sama, let alone me, wouldn't be able to defeat, the Omnipotent Angel has to make an appearance.
I thought it'd be something much more complicated. In that case, of course I accept, since I've been able to even become much more powerful.
In that case, first of all, we'll have to raise his power to the maximum, so that later he'll be able to master all the omnipotence of a divine being. So it'd be better to leave to the Kingdom of the Whole to start his new training.
Yes, of course. I feel motivated for this new training.
Both left quickly to the Kingdom of the Whole to start. However, the Prince of the Saiyans, likewise, was not staying behind, since on this occasion Vegeta had left for the planet of Beerus to continue with his arduous training with the help of Whis.
Whis, I want the training to be much more demanding. I don't want to stay behind that useless Kakarot.
Mr. Vegeta, the training that I'm giving you is the one that your body is able to resist. If I increase the intensity, you can die.
I'm not interested in dying. I'm sure my Saiyan body is able to assimilate the new training. I don't want the low-class warrior to surpass me.
Understood, Mr. Vegeta. From now on, we'll increase the difficulty of your training, so I expect this prepared. Thus, the difficulty of the training of the Prince of the Saiyans had increased, with which, in just a few minutes, most of his bones were completely destroyed. Meanwhile, in a very different line from the original, Zamasu had returned, finding himself very confused, but at the moment, due to the great damage that Vegito had caused him, the fusion had ended, returning to normal, Black and Zamasu.
That beating was the most humiliating one we've received, Zamas. We have to do something. I don't know how we've been able to come back, but we have to take this opportunity.
However, unlike Black, Zamasu was completely terrified, so he had refused to do anything against the Divine Kingdom, which would make Black angry. And thanks to the body he possessed from Goku, his power had increased greatly, being able to grant him a beating.
Be grateful that you're immortal, because otherwise I'd end your existence right now. But I'll look for a way to end your pathetic life.
Returning to the present, the 6 universes had returned after millions of years, were very confused, especially the most powerful of them since they had been unfairly eliminated.
That damn dwarf, he thinks we're fucking toys. I plan to end that miserable, so to be able to do the last thing I do, I have to ask for the support of the other gods.
But despite being the most powerful god, by the time he stood up, large amounts of blood had come out of his entire body, so he would fall to his knees to the ground.
So even though millions of years have passed, I'm still affected. These damn wounds. It'd be better to rest, to fight with those wretches when we have all our powers.
That's right, the 6 supreme gods were in the same condition since their power had been worn out in an amazing way all this time. So it would take about 6 months or even a year to get back to normal. While Goku would continue with his great training, which, on this occasion, the training he was taking was an absolute madness, since he was even able to train with weights of millions of kilos while gravity was against him.
It's amazing how he's able to move at a decent speed, while he's got those weights and gravity trying to crush him. It's time to move to the next level.
Daishinkan would stop releasing his gravity just like he would release Goku from the weights he was carrying all over his body. So Daishinkan would stand in front of Goku.
On this occasion, I want you to be able to activate a part of the Ultra Instinct, because even with that gravity, your internal energy has been able to calm down.
Did the gravity and pressure that was released have a dual purpose?
Indeed, and I trust you that you'll be able to activate at least part of the Ultra Instinct.
Goku would try to access the Ultra Instinct, however, his attempts were useless, because he needed much more concentration. However, what always characterized Goku was that he never gave up. So, Goku would begin to concentrate, closing his eyes. From one moment to another, he opened his eyes, being able to observe the silver color. However, despite his arduous training, he was only able to reach the imperfect Ultra Instinct. So, at the moment, Goku would begin to approach Daishinkan.
Master, I've never fought against you. It's said that you're one of the 5 most powerful warriors in all the universes, and I'd like to measure myself against you.
I like that you think big, but I feel that for you. It is something impossible, but of course I'll fight with you. I hope you're ready.
Goku, with a very serious look, had pounced against Daishinkan, which was a little surprised because despite not mastering the Ultra Instinct 100% of his power, his speed and power were overwhelming.
I can't believe that this is the only part of the Ultra Instinct, as the power he's releasing is amazing. It seems otherworldly.
Daishinkan and Goku began to exchange blows, which Goku's power, as the battle progressed, began to increase. That's right, Goku's power seemed to have no limits. Daishinkan had noticed this.
This is too weird because no matter who the warrior is, if he overloads his body, sooner or later he'll end up exploding. But it seems that this logic doesn't possess Son Goku's body.
But Daishinkan's words were right because at the moment, Goku, as if were a lightning bolt, would try to hit Daishinkan, but he'd fall to the ground with multiple injuries and hundreds of screams could be heard all over the kingdom of everything. So Zeno-sama came out due to the uproar.
Dai, what's going on? Have you done something to my friend?
Of course not, my lord, but Mr. Goku has pushed his body to the limit, and it's something that surprises me since he's able to withstand a great energy load.
Daishinkan would begin to approach Goku, who at the moment was able to help him to recover all his energies. But even Daishinkan was surprised to realize as his whole body seemed to be completely destroyed.
Goku, why have you pushed your body to the limit? You could die.
Don't worry, Daishinkan. Although everything hurts, I have to get better every day, and I'll only be able to do it if I push my body to the limit.
Daishinkan was able to heal each of his wounds. Meanwhile, on the planet Dbs, the training of the Prince of the Saiyans was not lagging behind, as his power was having incredible results. Mr. Vegeta, the results you're getting is amazing, but I would love to know what is your prowess on the battlefield.
No matter how much I've raised my battle power, if I compare myself to you, that power is absolutely nothing.
Whew. Of course I understand, Mr. Vegeta, but you will face Mr. Beerus, since even he wishes to join the training.
I hope you're a good rival, because otherwise I'll leave you lying on the ground like the fly you are, because I'm a god of destruction.
I thought I was gonna face Whis, but I have the confidence that I'm able to beat you, Beerus.
Don't make me laugh, Vegeta. That's an impossible thing for you, but I want you to check it, so attack me.
The Prince of the Saiyans would access the Super Saiyan Blue, which on this occasion his power was much more surprising. So instantly a great light over all the place would be present. Beerus, being very confident, was not able to dodge a powerful blow from Vegeta, which with the simple impact would raise the dust. Beerus, recovering from the blow, was surprised to feel how all his body, large amounts of blood were spreading.
I swear, I'm gonna give you the humiliation of your life, you good-for-nothing worm.
Beerus would expel 90% of his power, with which the whole Universe 7 was trembling, since Beerus had released almost all of his power. So, at the moment, Vegeta would observe him intently, without being intimidated by said pressure.
For if it was the greatest of honors to face me in an even battle against the god of destruction of my universe, so attack me, Beerus.
The god Beerus of the Great Explosion would be present, with which his power had overflowed. At the moment, both began with their great battle, which a clear winner would not be observed because both awarded each other excellent blows. Meanwhile, in the future, Black was devising a plan to be able to return in search of revenge.
I'm not gonna stay with this humiliation. I'll finish with all of you.
Black would expel all his power, destroying the little life that was around him. The confrontation between both warriors was getting along very evenly. So at the moment the god of destruction, a little annoyed, would decide to raise 100% of all his power, so he would start to take the advantage of the battle. Apparently this battle will be Mr. Beerus's, because although Mr. Vegeta has had excellent results, they'll never compare with the power of Mr. Beerus. Vegeta on this occasion would begin to receive a shower of blows from Beerus, who was not able to do absolutely anything. So Beerus, with the big blow, was able to cause great destruction all over the place, due to the impact.
You better give up, since you don't have the power to stand up to me. I'm not gonna give up. I have the power to defeat you, and I'm not going to back down.
Beerus moved at an incredible speed, being able to almost make Vegeta lose consciousness. At the moment, Vegeta would fall to the ground, returning to his base state, without any energy apparently, but Beerus, a little annoyed, would throw a small sphere of energy.
That energy will not be able to finish you, but it'll teach you that sometimes it's better to put your head down and surrender.
The Saiyan Prince, furious, reflecting on his whole existence, would try to repel all that great energy, but it was useless to him. However, to everyone's surprise, Vegeta was able to absorb that energy, so his aura would become much more destructive, just as his ki had changed to a much more hostile one, since the pressure he felt all over the place was incredible. The powerful Vegeta, of a great scream, was able to access a new transformation that surprised Whis. This is amazing! Apparently Mr. Vegeta has been able to access the Ultra Ego, but I don't know how he's able to achieve it. But Mr. Beerus seems to have been the trigger for him to be able to access this new state. Beerus would be a little amazed, but even he was not able to move, since the very pressure of Vegeta was able to paralyze him completely at that moment. The Prince of the Saiyans would begin to approach the god Beerus, and while this was happening, the whole planet would begin to destroy itself due to the great power that was being released by Vegeta's body. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the Whole, Goku had been able to recover in full, so he would start training again, leaving Daishinkan a little amazed due to the enthusiasm that Son Goku maintained in each of his workouts.
It seems very unusual for me, since no warrior is able to maintain this enthusiasm throughout the training. Really, Son Goku is a very strange warrior.
Daishinkan, after completing this training, I want to access the Ultra Instinct again, since I'm beginning to understand how I can access this state.
Okay, Mr. Goku. Mr. Goku thinks he can state this is a simple training. He needs much more of a training to master it.
The last thing I would only think, since I didn't want to demote Goku, returning to the battlefield on this occasion, Beerus, despite using all his power, wasn't able to do anything against Vegeta. That's right, although his anger was obvious, it could be compared against the incredible increase in power of the Prince of the Saiyans. So Beerus on this occasion would be thrown to the ground as if he were a simple worm.
You better give up, because it's better to accept when a warrior is much more powerful.
Beerus would remember that he had similar words said to him, so he would make him much angrier. So he'd stand up again, attacking Vegeta, but to Whis' surprise, as if he were a million-year-old warrior, Vegeta was able to give him a certain blow on the back of his head, with which he was able to lose consciousness completely. So Vegeta would take Beerus on one of his shoulders and start approaching towards.
What do you think about this power, Whis? Do you think I could keep improving every day?
It has left me speechless, Mr. Vegeta. It's a power that hardly a warrior is capable of achieving. And having the feat of defeating Mr. Beerus is much more, since no warrior has been able to achieve it.
Just like I told you, Whis, we Saiyans have no limits. Some no matter who our opponent is.
Mr. Goku will get a big surprise when he's able to realize that his great new power, since the Ultra Ego doesn't lose against the Ultra Instinct.
This is getting much more interesting every time. So I want to become much more powerful.
Meanwhile, in the future, Black would also start his arduous training to be able to have his revenge, and thanks to Goku's body, his power began to rise in a great way, with which training that he carried out.
This is the best of all. It's been able to use the destruction of energy, so I was able to get rid of that useless Zamas.
Black, in this time, had been able to raise his power to the limit, so much so that he had even been able to bring his body to the Super Saiyan 3 Rose power, so even Black was surprised.
This power's amazing, but I'm sure the limit of that damn mortal son Goku's not limited to just this, so I have to push my limits.
But very far from that place, even in another timeline, the 6 gods who'd come back to life had fully recovered. But the first one opened his eyes, known as Baster, the killer god, because his character he destroyed any warrior he was put in front of.
Finally, after millions of years, we're back. And finally in these months, it's been able to recover completely. And what I want is to fight. And the life of the stupid Beerus and his angel will be over. They always seem good for nothing.
That powerful god would begin to move through each of the universes, reaching Universe 7 in an extremely short period of time, in which the god Beerus was just regaining consciousness, but an incredible pressure could be felt all over the place.
Damn, I remember this pressure, but that can't be possible. You were eliminated by the king of Zeno-sama.
With the flash of lightning, the new warrior appeared in front of everyone, being a little surprised by the state in which Beerus was.
It beat you up. It's a pity that I'm not an honorable warrior. I've come back after millions of years and I'd want to finish you.
But a great pressure would likewise be felt all over the place. That's right, the pressure of the mighty Vegeta would be present on the battlefield.
I won't let you end Mr. Beerus' life, since we're training, but I won't let you take advantage of him being injured. You have much bigger power than this stupid cat. But I want to end this worm, so no matter what you say or do, today everyone will die.
Vegeta, being about to say something, would be thrown with a great blow, but said blow was able to cause him incredible damage, so much so that on this occasion, the Prince of the Saiyans vomited large amounts of blood. That's right, the damage he had caused was incredible.
What? Have you been able to cause me so much damage in one blow? I'm surprised that you're able to stand up, but I warned you, today if you had kept silent you wouldn't die. Now it doesn't matter, I'll finish you too.
Vegeta, annoyed, would expulse rays out of his whole body, raising his power to the limit, with which he had rushed against that god so intently, both began to exchange millions of blows. But the difference of powers was evident, since Vegeta wasn't able to contact any blow that's effective.
Whis, this is my bad. Vegeta won't be able to do anything against him. I want to heal on my own.
Sorry, Master, but I have to go to Universe 7 on an emergency, as Whis and even Vegeta and Mr. Beerus are very badly injured.
Goku would use teleportation, but being so far away, it'd take him a few seconds, but at the moment of arriving, he was surprised to notice how a warrior was holding Whis by the neck, with the intention of ending his life.
Kakarot, you've arrived, but run away! I trust that in the future you'll be able to defeat him. Please, protect my family.
Don't worry, Vegeta. You'll be able to protect your family yourself. I'll never forgive them for this miserable...
Goku at a much higher speed was able to prostrate himself in front of the Goku, and at the moment, he would be able to put one of his hands on his shoulder, being able to release a pressure that would force him to release Whis, so Goku would hold.
Whis, Please resist at this moment. I'll heal every one of your wounds.
Whis would try to talk since Baster was on Goku's back, but to his surprise, a big shadow would be released from Goku's entire body. So he had given him a big blow, which would make him fall to the ground, with multiple wounds all over his body. Goku at the moment would begin to repair each of his energy veins and transmit a little of his power, being enough for Whis to be out of danger.
Whis, I charge you to Mr. Vegeta and Mr. Beerus.
Of course I do, Mr. Goku. But what are you planning to do? Even me, being an angel, I haven't been able to beat him.
Don't worry, Whis, since this worm's not able to do anything against me.
Whis would help both warriors recover, so Vegeta would stare at Goku, being a little terrified, since in all his aura, a gigantic Ozaru was able to observe himself. Baster, recovering from the blow, would try to pounce against him. But at the moment, Goku was in front of the same.
I don't care who the hell you are, but with the simple intention of having wasted the end one of my friends, I'll end your pathetic existence.
Goku at the moment liberates a little more of his power in the Ultra Instinct, which left everyone surprised since the power that expelled Goku surpassed an angel with great ease. The power that Goku to defeat me. Goku, as if it were a flash, had even disappeared for everyone's view, with the exception of Daishinkan. The speed of which Mr. Goku moves is incredible. I can't believe he has achieved all that power in such a short period of time. He really is the chosen one for the position of the Omnipotent Angel, the power that I could never master. Goku, on this occasion, like a true sadist, would begin to destroy each of his bones, as well as the veins through which he transported the energy. That's right, after a few minutes, Baster, one of the most powerful gods among the 18 universes, was on the ground as if he were a simple child, because each of his energy veins had been completely destroyed. Even on this occasion, even a mortal with some knowledge in battle would be able to defeat him. Damn, it ends my life. I can't stand the fact that I've lost all my power. This can't be happening to me, damn it.
You're not in position to decide what we'll do with you, but my teacher has several questions to ask you, so after answering, I can even think about giving you back your power. Baster, with hopes that his power would be returned, would prostrate himself towards Daishinkan. Mighty Daishinkan-sama, I'm sorry if I've been disrespectful in coming into this universe, but you can ask me any question, and I promise to answer with all sincerity.
Only you have come back to life, or did the 5 remaining gods come back too?
All of us have come back to life, Daishinkan-sama.
Understand. When did they come back to life? Is it recent?
Hypothetically clear that it is recent, but we're talking about 8 months or so in which we've come back to life. Instantly, Whis would remember Android 17's wish, which was for each of the universes eliminated by Zeno-sama to come back to life, so he would tell his father quickly.
What was the wish that was made all the universes come back, damn? Last question. Why, if they have come back to life 8 months ago, you just make an appearance?
We're getting all our powers back in full, but I wanted to have some fun with the useless Beerus, like in the old days. Goku would begin to approach Baster, who had hoped that his power would be returned, since he had collaborated in everything that Goku had asked him. But he was surprised to realize how Goku's hand was completely pointing at him. I appreciate your collaboration, and right now I plan to leave your power and your very existence completely destroyed. That's right, I'll send you to the other world. The god, before being able to say anything, would be evaporated by all the incredible attack of Goku. Beerus, instead of maintaining respect for Goku, would start to have an incredible terror, since even Whis had been defeated, while Goku seemed that he had not taken the slightest difficulty.
Goku, how have you been able to get all that power?
Mr. Beerus, don't worry. I'm the same as always. And answering your question, I've been training with Daishinkan all this time.
Beerus, along with Whis, were surprised, as it was the first time in all existence in which Daishinkan trained a mortal.
This is very bad news, so Beerus and Whis, train, and likewise train your most powerful warriors, as this will be a real warrior. I will inform all the other gods and angels.
Daishinkan, along with Goku, had left for the Kingdom of the Whole, which at the time of arrival, Daishinkan would begin to expand the communication to each of the divinities of the 12 universes. Meanwhile, in the 6 exiled universes, the most powerful god Kaichi had opened his eyes after 8 months, in which he had been able to recover his power in its entirety, even increasing it in an incredible way. I've finally been able to recover my authentic power.
In fact, I was even able to get much more power. For that reason, even Daishinkan was afraid of my power. Everything around him was being destroyed, because after millions of years without expelling any of his power, he was not able to keep under control. So he realized all the destruction in his universe, he was able to decrease a large part of all his power. But he was surprised to feel the power of only 4 of his other companions. This missing power is that of Baster's unit. That impatient bastard can never stay still. I just hope he didn't seek trouble with any god. But a large dark-colored energy sphere would prostrate in front of Kaichi was a last bit of divine soul, which Baster was able to collect to inform his other companions. My brother, I ask for an apology. I've not been able to follow your instructions and I've lost my life in Universe 7. Kaichi was surprised, but he would wonder who was the warrior in being able to defeat the super god, since even the angels weren't able to face them. Please take care of a Saiyan. As to the god and the angel, I was able to beat them, but a Saiyan that even reached the Ultra Instinct, I crushed in its entirety. The Divine Soul would end, so at that time, Baster would be eliminated in his entirety, as the Divine Soul was a small essence of his true self. Damn it! A Saiyan's able to compare with our power must be a joke! We have to prepare for everything that's coming. Kaichi would begin to move through each of the universes of his companions, realizing that everything's under control. Meanwhile, in the realm of the whole, Daishinkan was very distressed, which would attract the attention of Goku. Master, why are you so worried? I've been able to overcome that god without any difficulty, and his power is much greater than mine.
Son Goku, really none of the gods are a problem. Even Kaichi, whose power seems to have no limits. What's really dangerous is what is hidden in the confines of the 18 universes.
But before both of them are able to continue talking, a great portal would be created in the Kingdom of Everything. That's right, it was Black Goku, who'd been able to find the Room of Typo, containing incredible results in a short period of time. But if you're Black, how the hell are you still alive? If Zeno-sama ended your existence, don't tell me that the future was also affected by the desire. I don't know what I wish you mean, but I just know that I've come back to life. And this time, I'm planning to end your miserable life, so get ready! Black had transformed into Super Saiyan Rose Phase 3. The power he released was amazing, so much so that his power was compared to the power of a guardian angel. But for Goku, it was not an amazing power. So instantly, both began to exchange thousands of blows. All over the kingdom of the whole, Goku was able to dominate Black completely. So Goku, with one big blow, was able to make him fall to the ground. What the hell is that transformation? Feels like your fists look like steel. Did you forget what Vegeta said? It doesn't matter that you've been able to steal my body. You're never able to get 100% of my full potential. For your information, there's something that you're completely wrong about. Because no matter what happens, if you spend so many years with this body, you make it yours. And I trained in the Room of Time. Black at the moment would begin to expel an amazing heat from his entire body, so with a big scream he was able to access the perfect Ultra Instinct, leaving everyone present surprised.
So really, Son Goku's body is special, since he's been able to reach the Ultra Instinct again, a state that most gods aspire to, but are not able to achieve.
From all over the place, it could be observed as a great white light with pink. It rose all over the battlefield. And instantly, you could observe Black Goku in the perfect Ultra Instinct, so at the moment, both Saiyans would begin to exchange millions of blows, having a very even battle on the other hand. In the 6 universes, Kaichi had realized that the only casualty had been Blaster.
Damn, it happens to be him to being rushed, but we can't do anything anymore. We just have to prepare.
But in front of Kaichi, a beautiful woman would appear. That's right, a woman with red hair, and her power was amazing. Kaichi, I don't know what you're waiting for, but I want to rip the head off this stupid one from the kingdom completely, since he's eliminated us as if we were mere garbage, and after millions of years he brings us to life.
I understand how you feel, Cyrus, but I want you to stay calm. Since Blaster had been annihilated, we don't know that Guerrero was able to achieve such a feat.
I can't believe that Stress scared by the death of Blaster. You better than anyone know that that miserable good-for-nothing is not able to compare with our powers.
I know, Cyrus, but despite that, it's amazing that an ordinary being was able to defeat him. So stand down and wait for my order.
Cirrus would leave for her universe. Returning to the battlefield, she seemed to be very even. However, as she progressed, Goku would begin to take the advantage because Black Goku's body was suffering all the damage for activating the Ultra Instinct for the first time, which Goku would take advantage of without wasting time, starting to give a shower of blows, then charging a great attack. With this attack, there'll be no ashes left of you, so I hope you're ready to die. Goku would throw his powerful attack, but to Black's surprise, he was able to survive. But his body was completely destroyed. But to his fortune, he'd been able to reach Universe 18 because Goku's powerful attack had created a 3-dimensional hole. So Kaichi would notice a very tiny key going quickly.
This warrior seems to be powerful, but a much stronger warrior's been able to leave him in this state. I'm sure he'll be a great support.
Kaichi would release a little of his power, intending to heal every one of Black's wounds. Kaichi helped me elevate much more. The Great Sphere of Energy was beginning to enter Goku's entire body. That's right, the power of the 12 universes was beginning to enter each of his energy veins. But due to this, his muscles had grown exponentially, so he wasn't able to move freely, much less be able to fight.
Mr. Goku, the power you possess is amazing, but please stop! With that excess energy, your body will explode into 1,000 pieces.
Dude, I'm glad that you want to strive every day, and that you try to be the most powerful warrior in all the universes, but I don't want you to die. Don't worry, today will not be the day of my death, as I am prepared for this and more. I possess the power of a warrior race. I know that my body is able to withstand it. Goku would continue with the absorption of all that great power. This time, even all that power could be felt by the 18 universes, which would make 4 renegade super gods panic, while their leader would put a very serious look. I'm sure that the warrior who's releasing all that power has been the same one who ended Blaster's life, and left this warrior in terrible conditions. While the other gods were not able to stand on their own, so their angels had to create energy barriers so that pressure would not be able to end their lives. This is amazing! Mr. Goku, despite being millions of kilometers away, is able to emanate this great pressure as if he were in front of us.
I can't believe that power of Goku's. Since when has he been able to become so powerful? Damn insect, but this only gives me more determination to become a much more powerful being. So I hope you're prepared, you miserable insect, since the Prince of the Saiyans doesn't intend to stay behind you.
Vegeta at a great speed had headed towards Whis and Beerus, which both were a little surprised since Vegeta was able to move with that great pressure. Mr. Vegeta, doesn't your body hurt because of the great pressure that Mr. Goku releases?
Of course it hurts, Whis. I feel like every one of my bones are completely destroyed, but it doesn't matter. Because if that useless Kakarot's able to reach those limits, I'm sure I'm able to do the same.
Do you want me to train you even though this great pressure is affecting this whole planet?
That's right, Whis. I want you to train me, as I don't want to stay behind that bug.
You've surprised me, Mr. Vegeta, but of course we will. Don't worry, we will start this new training now.
I also want to train. I don't want another trash to be able to overcome my power. I'm the god of destruction.
But although Beerus' will was unshakable, his power was not able to support him, because the moment Whis stopped providing energy barrier, Beerus would fall to the ground, very badly injured and on the verge of death by this simple pressure.
Damn, I can't believe that the mighty god of destruction is humiliated in this disgusting way.
Vegeta would approach Beerus, but Beerus instantly felt his whole body completely relieved, looking up, observing how Vegeta had given him a little of his energy to be able to move.
Beerus, we're warriors. We have to do our best. I'm counting on you, because I'm sure that with the desire of Android 17, much more warriors would return to life.
And Vegeta was right, because one of the main reasons why Daishinkan was very nervous was for the awakening of a warrior who was sleeping in Universe 16. But even if they finished with the body of that warrior, his essence was watered by the 6 most powerful universes, that is, from Universe 16 to Universe 18. For that reason, Zeno-sama had made the decision to exterminate the 6 universes, but with the desire of the android, they feared that his imposing warrior had risen in the same way.
Son Goku is about to control himself. We'll be able to do Ascension Ritual to the Omnipotent Angel, because although 2 days have passed, Son Goku continues to release more power.
That's right, Son Goku continued with the expulsion of all his power, so after 20 more hours, it would be observed how the energy was concentrated in one place. While it became much smaller, that's right, Goku had been able to control 100% of the power of the 12 universes. But so, with that speed was not compromised, he was able to even evolve because, instantly, a Goku with long hair would be observed, while this power, despite being at rest, was able to bend any warrior.
Son Goku, is that really you? The power you've gotten is amazing. I'm not able to assimilate it. I don't know if I'll be able to defeat you, even if I use my maximum power.
The power of my friend Goku's grown in an incredible way. He'll be the most powerful omnipotent angel of all existing. Of course it's me, Daishinkan. I'd like to try my new power with you, Daishinkan. How about we have a training battle like in the old days?
That'd be great for me, to stretch my muscles a bit, so I agree.
Goku would start walking towards Daishinkan until they were face to face. So instantly, as if there were a few flashes, both began to exchange millions of blows all over the place. Their speed was so much that this time, even an angel would not be able to observe absolutely anything. Zeno-sama was fascinated with the battle as he was witnessing, since the great last battle was the tournament of power. Goku had been able to connect a powerful blow, being able to send him to an inhospitable planet, destroying it for the power of impact.
Apparently my power's grown in a great way. I'm sorry if I've hurt you.
Daishinkan was starting to recover from that blow, but he was surprised to notice how large amounts of blood were spreading all over his body, which had left him surprised.
I can't believe the power Mr. Goku's been able to get. Even a single one of his punches has been able to make me bleed.
Daishinkan would recover completely, so he had thrown himself again against Goku. However, Daishinkan, having much more experience in combat, would begin to defeat Goku with this simple defense. Since every time Goku attacked him, Daishinkan was able to inject tiny portions of his ki. So Goku's speed would begin to decrease considerably, which Daishinkan would take advantage of. Meanwhile, in Universe 18, Kaichi was trying to observe that great battle with the Sphere of Energy. However, he wasn't able to achieve because the magnetic field of both energies did not allow the crystal sphere to withstand such pressure. Apparently, that warrior is able to stay in an even battle with the High Priest. This must be impossible. Since he's a mere mortal, this can't be happening. But of all the place, Black would release all his power, but this time something very different would happen. Because at the moment, Black would begin to suffer a great transformation. While his power grew non-stop, Kaichi would be surprised by the release of power of that warrior. But Black, being a divine being, was able to dominate the state of the Ozaru. That's right, in his training, Black had been able to recover the tail of Goku's body. But Kaichi's power was the trigger for him to be able to access that state, which is why Black was able to master his beast state by being able to access the Super Saiyan Phase 4 Rose. But the power he gave off was complete madness, which even left Kaichi amazed. The power this warrior unleashes is amazing. Can't believe he was able to defeat that warrior who's really very dangerous. But what happened to me? I was defeated by that damn monkey. How is it possible that he's in this place? Have I died? But Black would also feel an amazing pressure on his back, so he would turn quickly. That's right, Kaichi, he would release his pressure in case that warrior tried to attack him. But Kaichi's pressure was much greater than Black's pressure, even then the pressure that Goku had used against Black. So Black, despite his new power, felt that the warrior's pressure was able to completely bend him. I can see how you have thousands of questions, but I've been able to heal every one of your wounds, just as I have helped you possess all that new power. I really appreciate it, since I can see how you possess the divine energy to its maximum splendor. So please help me to become more powerful to be able to end the life of that dam. First of all, I want you to tell me everything that happened. Who are you referring to? I feel like you have a great power. How have you been defeated? Black would begin to tell everything that happened since he was defeated in the past, since he came back to life, and was defeated by Son Goku again, while both warriors continued with their great fight, but this time Daishinkan had decided to use all his power. So Goku was surprised, but instantly, a big smile had drawn on Daishinkan's face.
Son Goku, you're an extremely powerful warrior, but it still takes a lot of power for you to be able to defeat me.
That's right, Daishinkan instantly was able to cause a small explosion in all of Goku's energy veins, only knocking him out of combat.
Son Goku's power will be the key to the fight against the renegade super gods.
The power of Goku had increased in an amazing way, which would make Daishinkan 2 happy because his power would be of great help. However, in Universe 18, Kaichi, the most powerful god, would also be granting a rigorous training to Black Goku, so that he would be able to become much more powerful. And this at the level of a priest or even higher, but to Black Goku, to possess the original body of Goku, and to fully engage his level of learning was incredible, since he was even able to increase his power in an extremely fast, which would leave Kaichi very surprised. In all my years of existence, I've never met a warrior who's able to increase his power in this way. It's hard to believe. Because Black's power in each training was getting bigger and bigger, it seemed that his power possessed no limits. When I see that useless Son Goku again, I'm sure this time I'll be able to shred him with my powers. But like Black, Goku was getting incredible power. For this part, in Universe 7, the Prince of the Saiyans had also undergone rigorous training, with which he wanted to be able to overcome each of his limits, because he didn't want to stay so far behind the power of his greatest rival.
I'm not gonna let that damn worm be able to beat me. I'll be able to overcome all my limits too.
The training of the Prince of the Saiyans was of an incredible level, since even Whis would be surprised by the endurance that Vegeta's body was capable of possessing. I can't believe the pain that Lord Vegeta's body is capable of enduring, because not even a god of destruction would be able to endure it.
Whis, no matter what situations or conditions you see me in, I don't want you to decrease my pressure. On the contrary, increase it much more. I'm sure I can overcome all my limits as a Saiyan.
Mr. Vegeta, I understand, but let me inform you that with the help of my staff, I've been researching, and there's a transformation beyond the Ultra Ego.
Is there a level beyond the Ultra Ego? Tell me, Whis. What do I have to do?
First of all, you need to possess your Saiyan tail, because thanks to your tail, you'll be able to unleash all the power of Nozoru.
Damn. I must head to planet Earth quickly to be able to make a wish for them to rebuild my tail.
Don't worry, Mr. Vegeta. I can make your tail grow back from myself. Whis, with the help of his staff, was able to make the tail of the Prince of the Saiyans grow back. However, Vegeta would not notice any changes whatsoever. Don't worry, Mr. Vegeta, because this is when the new training starts. The new training of the Prince of the Saiyan would begin, but this time so that his body and the power dominate his tail of Saiyan again. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the Whole, Goku, to the master all his power, with the last scream had agreed to a new transformation, thanks to which he was also able to assimilate the power of the 12 universes, but this time, his characteristic long hair in Super Saiyan Phase 3 had disappeared, since his current state was very similar to the Ultra Instinct, but Daishinkan and Zeno-sama, who were waiting for Goku's awakening, they were amazed when they observed how several began to be drawn all over Goku's body.
This is impossible. What kind of body does Mr. Goku possess? I can't believe that I was able to reach such a state when I was the first Saiyan God was able to achieve.
That's right, millions of years ago, a powerful warrior with the maximum power of his Ozaru was able to get the same transformation that Goku had been able to access. But, due to all that power, the warrior had exploded into thousands of pieces. Not by controlling all his power, but it was the opposite for Goku. Because at that moment, Goku, with a loud scream, would expel all his retained power, making every planet of the 18 universes tremble. My power of my friend Goku possesses is amazing. I'm sure it's much bigger than my current power. I can't believe the power he possesses. Seconds later, a completely different Goku would be observed, which on this occasion, even his appearance was capable of intimidating any warrior. It's been tiring, but I've finally been able to master all this power. I'm ready, Daishinkan-sama, for the promotion to Omnipotent Angel. Daishinkan would be surprised by all the power that Goku was unleashing, despite only being in his base state. Goku, you're amazing! I can't believe the power you possess now. I think only in my combat form would I be able to defeat you. To access the Ultra Ego.
Hey, Whis, it's impossible. In my Ozaru state accessing the Ultra Ego, it's impossible for me.
Would you let Mr. Goku be able to surpass the Prince of the Saiyans? Vegeta, with his great determination, would begin to turn all his fur a purple color. That's right, while his power was perceived by the 18 universes. An equally gigantic new power has been present. Damn it! How in this era are there so many gods of such power?
I could recognize that power anywhere. It's Vegeta's stupid one. And although his power has grown in an incredible way, it doesn't compare to my authentic power. Prince Vegeta was able to access his Ultra Ego state. While he was in his Ozaru state, he was going to turn to Whis to grant him the following information about his training. But Vegeta's entire body would begin to carry double or even triple the energy, which Vegeta would notice, so Vegeta's entire body would begin to shrink. Vegeta would try to reverse it, but he would be taken out of his thoughts by Whis' words. It's time, Mr. Vegeta. Your own body has been able to access a new level, so you need to new state to master all the power. Vegeta would begin to expel much more power while his body returned to normal. A small light would be formed through the Universe 7, so at the moment the Prince of the Saiyans would be observed in the powerful Ultra Ego Phase 4.
Wow, this is amazing. I never thought I'd be able to reach this level, but Whis, I feel like the energy drain's immense. Even though I'm just talking to you, the drain is huge. It's what happens with every transformation that possesses the power beyond a god. But don't worry, with the training, we'll be able to eliminate that weak point. Vegeta would start with one of his final trainings together with Whis, because Vegeta's power this time was able to face 100% of the Angel Whis. So soon he would train on his own so that he's able to get good results. Returning to the Kingdom of the Whole, the battle between both warriors was incredible, because neither of them wanted to give up. And although it seems incredible, Goku was able to measure himself in a couple battle next to the King of the Whole. However, Goku recently ascended to that state. The energy drain would play against him. So Zeno-sama was able to take advantage of this opening, managing to knock him out of combat with a single blow. That was fun. It's better to have a battle yourself instead of just watching it. After a while, in a large pentagram, it was possible to observe Goku, who was being prepared to be officially named as the Omnipotent Angel Saiyan.
With the authority of the King of the Whole, and with the power of that Saiyan possesses, I, the priest of this multiverse, grant Son Goku the power of an omnipotent angel, by being able to his body master the power beyond a prodigy angel.
Hundreds of threads of energy began to surround Son Goku's entire body. Just as powerful barrier began to be placed all over his body, or was the impression of what he gave, Daishinkan, along with Zeno-sama, likewise observed everything with amazement, being the first omnipotent angel of his multiverse.
I'm proud of my disciple. The position I was never able to hold will be able to achieve it, Goku, and I'm sure you'll surpass any omnipotent angel.
After a few minutes, a great light could be seen to Goku with a new outfit, which looked like the outfit of an angel, but with several golden marks so that his load differs. It's a pleasure to see what you've become, my friend, the new Saiyan Omnipotent Angel.
With the power he possesses, it doesn't matter if the renegade gods have returned, or even the beast of the 18 universes. Your power as an omnipotent angel is incredible.
But Goku would put on a very serious look. No! Apparently a gigantic power is still constantly growing in Universe 18, Daishinkan. Please, gather all the gods and angels before this becomes more dangerous. We have to take hands on the matter. Daishinkan, with great mental power, would be able to communicate with the gods and angels. So each god, along with his angel, had headed to all the realm of the great speed, so after a few minutes, each god and angel would reach the all realm. I hope that each of you are ready. Today we'll end the evil that surrounds each of the universes, including the 6 universes that have returned. But in the same way, a powerful warrior would begin to approach Goku. That's right, he was his friend and greatest rival, in his new transformation, which also released an incredible power.
Lord Vegeta's power is also increased in an incredible way. So much so that I wouldn't be sure if I'd be able to defeat him in a fair fight.
So long, Kakarot. Apparently you've managed to become the Saiyan Omnipotent Angel. But even though you have that position, my power is not so far from yours. I realize that, Vegeta. When all this is over, we'll have to fight to know which one of the two of us is more powerful. All the gods, along with the angels, began to head towards the center of the 18 universes, but when they were halfway there, a powerful explosion was present, while 2 powerful warriors would prostrate themselves in front of them. "70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life, when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was.
What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?
What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe. He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-sama. In Zeno-sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-sama's father, he introduces himself to his son.
Zeno-sama, my son, you've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries.
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness. That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. To prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here, in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot. It was our first encounter with an enemy of another level. But we cannot forget the Cell Bug, that creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong.
Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time you showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
The fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Buu became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest.
Yes, but don't forget about Beerus. That god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right. And now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly. Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course. We're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe.
The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving.
Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest.
Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark, and a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis? Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar. Who could it be?
The darkness intensifies, and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula.
Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What?
The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination. I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected. Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents?
The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that? Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-sama, you failed in your duty as Supreme God. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of god at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to re-establish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I'll give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What? This can't be true. Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh?
We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally. The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxis Nocturne. Planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest. Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, this tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction is overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
A shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It'll be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. It is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great!
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair? By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I've said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot.
Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament.
Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him.
But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives.
This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk?
I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-sama's father is excited about this.
I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight.
I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist.
You always think about the fight, don't you? Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility.
Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them.
I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives.
I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity?
I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle.
At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces the situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for their survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them.
But what is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity.
Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders.
Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted.
Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed?
Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy.
We will, Father Zeno. No warrior will be strong enough to defy your will.
The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with these strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sensed the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them.
What are you? We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted. The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law. The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed.
The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence.
Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting.
No matter who sends them, we'll not allow them to stop our progress.
The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-sama. The battle rages and the environment, plants, stones, and sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious shadow warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the shadow creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level.
Vegeta, these guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space.
Now, Vegeta, let's go all out.
Let's go, Kakarot.
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! It can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion. At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the shadow creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the shadow creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from this smoke. Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. Their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the shadow creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin.
Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting. I didn't expect to have to face something like this.
Yes, Vegeta. This creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all.
Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides.
Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together and put an end to this!
For once, Kakarot, I agree.
The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyans' attacks with ease.
Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense! Focus!
I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast!
The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination.
We can't underestimate this thing! Come on, Vegeta! Let's attack together!
Alright, Kakarot, together we'll defeat it.
Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late. Kame! Ah!
Final Flash!
The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyan's assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely.
Vegeta, we're in trouble. This thing's stronger than we thought.
Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing.
Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta!
The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes.
Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself. This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince.
Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground.
Vegeta, we need a plan.
The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan Prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy.
Kakarot, do whatever it takes.
The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death. The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge the blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds.
Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting!
At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan Prince as he stood up, his eyes regaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique?
Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies.
Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta, with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, and his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their formidable foe. in a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit. The atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end. In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat, deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaioken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaioken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaioken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light. It's time to seal your fate.
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaioken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaioken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness. Prepare for the end.
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken.
Kaioken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. Its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaioken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaioken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing. Vegeta, something's happening! We must get there fast!
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku!
Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently. Dad! Vegeta! Something's coming! Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat.
Evil creature! We will fight!
The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed. Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight! We won't let them defeat us!
Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly.
Let's finish this quickly! Gohan, Broly, stay strong!
Got it, Vegeta! Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form.
My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun.
The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination. Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all! Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease.
We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta. If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything. The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version. It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it.
The battle intensified as the shadow creature in its enhanced form launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever. There's no limit to our strength when we fight together. Come on, guys, we can't lose.
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming.
Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence. Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys, let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win.
The battle began with the shadow creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyans' attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the shadow creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves. We must weaken it enough to free Broly! Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison! The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the shadow creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, was showing superhuman endurance. It's not enough! Broly, fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all.
In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks. Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you! The shadow creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher, unleashing unbridled fury. We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes! The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the shadow creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the shadow creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision. Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness! The shadow creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyan's attacks. Broly, under the Dark Possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled. We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist!
The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the shadow creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him! In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the shadow creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the shadow creature and Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated. It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession! At that moment, the shadow creature, taking advantage of the Saiyan's momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined.
Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly.
Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue.
Super Saiyan Blue!
The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the shadow creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence.
It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness.
The shadow creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the shadow creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury.
Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you.
Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations.
I need to find an opening in this possession.
In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed their most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a Big Bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area. After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan's Prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 and joined the fray. The shadow creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the shadow creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the shadow creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the shadow creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the shadow creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession! We can't let Broly fall into darkness!
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The shadow creature on the brink of the abyss responded with desperation. It raised its own power and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta! Broly's free!
Yes, but this shadow creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the shadow creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the shadow creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine just as the shadow creature enveloped him with its dark presence. A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the shadow creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the shadow creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the shadow creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable, as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination, turned towards the place where the dark entity had vanished.
Damn it! Where'd that thing go?
I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan. The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The shadow creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Ha 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 ha! Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans. Get out of Gohan, you damn creature!
I'll not allow you to possess my son!
Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you.
Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious. The shadow creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The shadow creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The shadow creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The shadow creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the shadow creature from an unexpected angle. However, the dark entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The Shadow's creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, Shadow Creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the Shadow Creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos it had sown, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses. However, the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the shadow creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession. "Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!" Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the shadow creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the shadow creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The shadow creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The dark entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat.
"You damn shadow, don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans."
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The shadow creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku. "Vegeta, keep up the pressure! I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan!" Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack. A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size and the power as Goku had held it in place. "It's time to free Gohan!" The shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
"Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable."
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
"This can't be happening. What did that thing do?"
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy. The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
"Now, witness my true power, the Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?"
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power. As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows, enjoying the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury. The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach this side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the shadow creature. The dark entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan?
That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way. The shadow creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways. Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans.
Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the shadow creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The dark entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that shadow creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the shadow creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the shadow creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the dark entity was under threat, and the shadow creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it. The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan? As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life.
So what's the plan, Piccolo?
Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching? That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you.
I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this.
The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach. This is my chance to end this! With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state. What happened?
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up, so the shadow creature set out to return to its master. After the terrifying moment that the Z warriors had experienced, Goku and Vegeta realized that Beerus and Whis were not on Earth. They had disappeared just moments before the shadow creatures appeared on Earth. This is because Daishinkan discovered that Zeno-sama had been killed by his father and immediately summoned all the angels and gods of destruction. In the majestic realm of all, Daishinkan, the high priest, summoned all the angels and gods of destruction of the existing universes. The atmosphere in the hall was unusually tense, and concern was reflected in the faces of those present. Daishinkan, with his usual calmness, prepared to share the disturbing truth he had discovered.
Angels and gods of destruction, the time has come to face a powerful truth. Zeno-sama, our beloved king of all, has been slain.
Silence fell over the hall. The angels and the gods of destruction exchanged looks of disbelief and dismay. No one expected that such a tragedy could occur, especially at the hands of someone so powerful.
My investigation revealed that the one responsible for this abominable act was Zeno-sama's own father.
The news resounded like a somber echo in the room. Everyone present processed the shocking revelation. The omnipresent figure of Zeno-sama, the supreme deity, had been shattered by his own protagonist. Mohito, Sidra's angel, spoke in a worried voice. How is it possible that a being as powerful as Zeno-sama's father could have committed such an act?
That is a question for which I still have no answers. But now we must face the consequences of this event. The stability of the multiverse is in danger.
Arak, the god of destruction of Quitella, asked,
"And what measures will we take in the face of this threat? What'll happen to the throne of Zeno-sama?"
That is a question we must discuss and resolve. For now, the throne remains empty, and our duty is to maintain peace and balance. But before we make hasty decisions, we need to fully understand the magnitude of this situation.
Beerus and Whis prepared to inform the gods of destruction and angels of all universes about what they had witnessed while on planet Earth with Goku and Vegeta. The Hall of the Realm of Everything was filled with celestial beings, each one expectant and worried about the news they were about to receive.
Attention everyone! We have crucial information to share about the events that have been unfolded.
Before we are summoned here, the father of Zeno-sama appeared on all the planets of the multiverse. Surprise was reflected on the faces of those present. Murmurs and whispers filled the room, as the gods of destruction and angels exchanged looks of disbelief. His visit was not simply to report the death of Zeno-sama. He announced the holding of the tournament that would determine the survival of the planets in each universe. Additional rumors filled the room, creating a constant buzz of concern. The gods of destruction and angels wanted to understand the implications of such an announcement.
He informed the rules of the tournament and the intentions behind such a competition, but it's necessary that we all work together to get answers and face this threat. It is time to join forces and overcome this crisis. The fate of our universes is at stake.
As the gods and angels absorbed the gravity of the situation, in every corner of the Hall of the Realm of Everything, conversations and plans were brewing to confront the mysterious tournament that threatened to upset the balance of the multiverse. Uncertainty hung in the air, but the determination of the divine beings was determined to face the unknown that lay ahead. In the Hall of Everything, Daishinkan, the High Priest, sensed the imminent arrival of extremely powerful entities heading for the different planets of the multiverse. His face reflected seriousness as he prepared to inform all the angels and gods of destruction present of the coming threat.
Gods and angels of destruction, the time has come to face a new and challenging threat. Entities of great power are headed towards the planets of our universes, and their goal seems to be a direct confrontation with the strongest warriors of each world.
The expressions of those present became serious. Aware of the gravity of the situation, Daishinkan continued with determination.
It's crucial that we move quickly to protect the strongest warriors of each planet, regardless of which universe they belong to. The threat we face does not respect universal boundaries, and we must act with unity to preserve the balance.
Vados, the Angel of Champa, raised his hand.
"How do you plan for us to move, Daishinkan? We each have responsibilities in our universes."
I understand the complexity of this situation, but the magnitude of this threat requires immediate action. I suggest that every angel and god of destruction move to the planets threatened by this unknown force. We must prevent the strongest warriors from being defeated before we can fully understand our enemies.
Sounds like a sensible plan, Daishinkan. If we all work together, we can protect our warriors and gain more information about these powerful entities. Each angel and god of destruction nodded in agreement, accepting the need to act immediately. They moved quickly to the various planets, casting aside universal barriers in a joint effort to safeguard the multiverse.
May the wisdom and power of each of you guide this effort. Let us not underestimate this new threat. Our duty is to protect the existence of our universes.
With those words, the angels and gods of destruction dispersed, leaving the Hall of All in preparation to face a challenge that transcended universal boundaries and demanded the collaboration of all divine beings. Uncertainty hung in the air, but determination to preserve the balance of the multiverse guided the powerful beings in their joint mission. The angels and gods of destruction quickly teleported to the threatened planets, each determined to protect the strongest warriors on the various planets. In the blink of an eye, the skies lit up with flashes of divine energy as Awamo and Ewin, Cognac and Quitella, Matanu and Geen, Whis and Beerus, and the other angels and gods of destruction headed toward their assigned destinations. The planet Thraxis Nocturnae lay peaceful in the corner of the cosmos, its nocturnal luminosity radiating a tranquility that was about to be disturbed. In the vast space, Owamo the Angel, with his small book in hand, and his god of destruction Ewin, an imposing figure with a stern gaze, detected the arrival of a shadow creature, a minion of Zeno-sama's father. The creature, shrouded in malevolent darkness, descended with malevolent determination towards Thraxis Nocturne. Ewin, without hesitation, deployed his energy of destruction while Owamo stood by, hoping to resolve the conflict without a bath of chaos. Creature, your darkness will not be tolerated in this realm. Stop your destructive plans. The shadow creature emanated a guttural growl, its presence emanating an unnatural energy that distorted the space around it. The space battle began with an explosion of opposing forces. Ewin launched destructive beams, while Owamo used his speed to dodge the attacks and assess the situation. Ewin, this creature's stronger than we imagined. We must be cautious. I know, Owamo, but we can't let him destroy Thraxis Nocturne. We must give our best. The shadow creature, agile and evasive, responded to the attacks with dark energy waves that distorted space. The battle spread across the firmament, leaving traces of destructive energy in its wake. Ewin tried to anticipate the creature's movements. However, the shadow creature proved to be agile and adaptive, countering every strategy with an unmatched dark force. Our conventional methods don't work. Ewin, we need to combine our forces. I agree, Owamo. It's time to show them the true power of destruction. Owamo and Ewin merged their energies, creating a flash of light that defied the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, perceiving the threat, intensified its own energy, generating a collision of cosmic forces that shook space itself. The battle reached a fever pitch, with cosmic explosions lighting up the scene as Owamo and Ewin struggled to contain the darkness. The struggle took place not only on the physical plane, but also on the spiritual one, where the will to protect Thraxis Nocturne was pitted against the ruthless ambition of the shadow creature. The fusion of Owamo and Ewin unleashed a dazzling energy that eclipsed even the nocturnal luminosity of Thraxis Nocturne. The gold and violet glow enveloped the divine couple as they prepared to face the dark threat looming over the peaceful planet. It's time to show the true extent of our power, Owamo. The shadow creature, aware of the growing threat, rushed towards them with supernatural speed. Owamo, with his keen perception, anticipated every movement of the creature, allowing the couple to dodge its onslaughts with heavenly elegance. Keep calm, Ewin. We must synchronize our movements to counteract their darkness. Ewin nodded and unleashed a series of destructive energy blasts that lit up the space around him. However, the shadow creature responded with amazing agility, dodging every attack with meandering movements. The battle became a cosmic game of strategy and speed. The angel Owamo and the god of destruction Ewin soon realized that in order to defeat this entity, they would need a coordinated attack that transcended the limits of their individual abilities. In a moment of perfect timing, they unleashed a gale of combined energy. Owamo channeled the energy of destruction while Ewin released violet flashes of destruction. Focus your energy, Owamo. Let's get rid of this darkness once and for all. Owamo nodded and joined the attack with determination. The fused energy of both angel and god turned into a spear of golden and violet light that pierced through space with an impressive speed. The shadow creature, caught in the torrent of power, let out a heart-rending howl as it was enveloped by the luminosity. The impact was abysmal, generating an expansive wave that shook the cosmos. The darkness that enveloped the creature began to dissipate, revealing its twisted and weakened form. Owamo and Ewin, exhausted but triumphant, stood on guard ready for any eventuality. We have managed to contain their darkness, but we can't let our guard down. The shadow creature, now visibly weakened, recoiled before the imposing presence of Owamo and Ewin. The light had prevailed over the darkness in the cosmic corner of Thraxis Nocturne. The divine couple remained firm in their duty to protect the planet that this creature wanted to destroy. However, the battle was not yet over, and the fates of the planets remained uncertain in the vastness of space. After the shocked combined attack of Owamo and Ewin, the space around Thraxis Nocturne was vibrating with the residual energy of the cosmic battle. The shadow creature, apparently weakened, remained suspended in the cosmic void, enveloped in a dark glow that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. The divine couple watched cautiously, aware that the fate of Thraxus Nocturne was still hung in the cosmic balance.
Ewan, something's not right. The darkness of that creature seems to be getting stronger instead of weaker.
It seems that our attack has absorbed by her, but it shouldn't be possible. How can he transform our energy of destruction to his own power?
The shadow creature, now surrounded by more intense aura, began to change its shape. Its twisted figure became more defined. His eyes shone with a malevolent lucidity. The darkness emanating from her was becoming denser, distorting the space around her.
You have underestimated my true potential, angel and god of destruction. Your energy has strengthened me beyond your comprehension.
The divine couple prepared for what was to come next, aware that the threat they faced had evolved. The shadow creature, now empowered by the absorbed energy, charged towards them with renewed speed and ferocity.
We need to be more cautious, Ewan. It seems that every blow we inflict makes her stronger.
Understood, Owamo, but we can't allow this darkness to devour Thraxus Nocturne.
The battle resumed with increased intensity. The shadow creature attacked with bursts of dark energy that cut through space, while Owamo and Ewan responded with flashes of golden and violet light. The cosmic dance of lights and shadows painted an epic picture in the vastness of the universe. Each blow and backlash echoed like thunder in space, distorting reality itself. Owamo, with his keen perception, tried to anticipate the movements of the dark creature, but the dark entity proved to be unpredictable. Ewan, with his energy of destruction, sought to weaken the creature, but his attacks seemed to be absorbed and turned into an additional source of power.
Every time we hit her, her power increases. We can't go on like this.
We must find a way to counteract his ability to absorb our energy. Do you have any ideas, Owamo?
Owamo pondered for a moment, his angelic mind working in search of a solution. Meanwhile, the shadow creature, aware of its opponent's confusion, took the opportunity to launch a surprise attack. A wave of dark energy enveloped Owamo and Ewan, distorting their perception and weakening their defenses.
Your resistance is useless. I am the embodiment of darkness. His light cannot prevail before me.
The situation was becoming more and more desperate for the divine couple as they struggled to resist the shadow creature's attacks. Owamo turned his attention to the small book he always carried with him. An idea began to form in his mind.
Ewan, I think I have an idea, but we need to synchronize our attacks in a different way.
Explain yourself, Owamo.
Owamo explained his plan to Ewan, who nodded in understanding. Both God and Angel prepared to put their strategy into practice. The shadow creature, confident in its superiority, launched into the attack again, but this time Owamo and Ewan were ready to respond differently.
Now, Ewan, combine your energy of destruction with mine in a more controlled way.
Ewan nodded and channeled his energy to Owamo, who, in turn, merged it with his. Instead of launching a direct attack, they created a sphere of combined light and energy that floated between them.
Do you think this tactic will change the outcome?
We'll see.
The energy sphere began to slowly expand, emanating a glowing light that contrasted the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, curious but confident, watched the development with disdain.
The fused power is not only destructive, but it also has properties that counteract its absorption capacity.
The combined energy sphere, now reaching its maximum expansion, released a wave of light and energy that enveloped the shadow creature. This time, instead of absorbing the power, the darkness that characterized her began to dissipate.
What is this? My power should not be weakened.
We create an energy that goes beyond destruction and creation, one that neutralizes the darkness that you're trying to absorb.
The shadow creature, weakened by Owamo and Ewan's strategic counterattack, retreated as the combined energy sphere continued to exert its effect. The light emanating from the sphere began to purify the darkness surrounding the entity, revealing its original form before corruption.
It seems our tactic's working, but we must make sure we contain it completely.
We can't let our guard down. Let's continue with the strategy until the creature's completely neutralized.
The space battle continued, but this time Owamo and Ewan had the upper hand. His sphere of combined energy continued to exert its purifying effect, dispelling the darkness that threatened Thraxus Nocturne. With each passing moment, the shadow creature grew weaker. The light of hope began to shine in the corner of the cosmos that was once on the verge of destruction. The shadow creature, weakened by Awamo and Iwan's strategy, retreated into space, its distorted form twisting as the combined energy sphere continued to purify the darkness that enveloped it. In a desperate attempt to regain its strength, the shadow creature began to explore its surroundings, looking for an opportunity to turn the situation in his favor.
My power is weakened here. I need to find a place where darkness prevails.
While exploring, the shadow creature noticed something that favored him. His eyes flashed with malevolent anticipation as he discovered that this world was called Thraxis Nocturne because it was a planet plunged into shadows. The dark entity smiled malevolently as he realized that this planet could provide the darkness needed to revitalize his power.
Ha 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 ha! Thraxis Nocturne, a feast of darkness awaits me!
With amazing speed, the shadow creature launched itself towards the planet, traversing space with great speed. Awamo and Iwan, aware of his intentions, followed closely, determined to stop any attempt by the shadow creature to plunge into the darkness of the planet. As the creature approached Thraxis Nocturne, the darkness of the planet seemed to intensify, as if responding to its presence. The planet's nighttime atmosphere shone with a faint luminosity, offering a fascinating contrast to the surrounding stars.
Iwan, we must prevent the creature from being filled with dark power. If she succeeds, it'll be even more difficult to stop her.
Understood, Awamo. We'll not allow the darkness of this planet to fall into the hands of that entity.
The shadow creature descended on Thraxis Nocturne with a terrifying impetus. As she approached, the darkness seemed to take her in, enveloping her with a gloomy welcome. The shadow creature began to absorb the darkness of the planet, its twisted form vibrating with a new energy as it filled with the essence of Thraxis Nocturne.
Ha 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 ha! Yes, this darkness will strengthen me. Nothing can stop me now.
Awamo and Iwan, wasting no time, headed towards the shadow creature, determined to stop its advance before it became unstoppable. The battle in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne was about to take a very drastic turn.
We cannot allow this darkness to completely corrupt this creature. We must stop her before she becomes invincible.
Your previous strategy was effective, Awamo. Let's keep working together to counter his power.
Deep in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne, the intense presence of the absorbing shadow creature did not go unnoticed by the most powerful warriors on the planet. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and his brother Cooler felt the darkness increasing around them and, with a mixture of amazement and concern, headed toward the epicenter of the threat.
Something's not right. The darkness in this place is getting denser.
Whatever it is, we cannot let it threaten Thraxis Nocturne. Let's investigate.
The warriors moved nimbly across the gloomy terrain, advancing towards the source of the darkness. As they got closer, the atmosphere became heavier, as if the shadow itself wanted to resist their advance.
The darkness is different. I feel a strange pressure. I'm not afraid of the dark, but this is unusual. Cooler, stay alert.
Understood, Frieza. Let's find out what's going on.
Suddenly, a wave of dark energy erupted before them, revealing the shadow creature that was absorbing the darkness of the planet. His twisted figure and malevolent aura were as evident as the threat he posed to Thraxis Nocturne.
Warriors of this planet, his darkness feeds me. Soon I will be unstoppable.
We won't let you destroy Thraxis Nocturne. Get ready, creature.
The warriors went on the attack, each unleashing their unique power against the dark entity. Turles unleashed his evil aura, releasing bursts of destructive energy. Bardock channeled his Saiyan fury into powerful blows, while Raditz and Cooler coordinated their attacks to create a symphony of destruction. Frieza intensifying the struggle.
This creature doesn't know who he's up against.
Your resistance is useless. Each blow only increases my power.
The shadow creature, powered by the darkness of Thraxis Nocturne, absorbed attacks with defiant ease. Each impact seemed to strengthen rather than weaken it, plunging the warriors into the disturbing reality that they were facing an enemy that fed on its own darkness.
It's not working. He's getting stronger and stronger.
We need to change our strategy. We can't let it absorb all the darkness on the planet.
While the warriors struggled to find an effective strategy, the shadow creature, with its distorted laughter, continued to absorb the darkness, becoming more and more powerful. The Battle of Thraxis Nocturne's survival was at its most critical, and the warriors knew that they had to find a solution before the dark entity became invincible. The dark aura released by the shadow creature enveloped the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne, gradually weakening them. The warriors struggled to stay on their feet as the entity's malevolent energy infiltrated their bodies, obscuring their vital forces.
This is it. Too much.
I can't let that defeat us like this.
The warriors, despite their bravery, were overcome by the darkness emanating from the aura of the shadow creature. At that critical moment, when hope seemed to be fading, a heavenly light pierced the shadows. Owamo and Ewin, the angels charged with protecting Thraxis Nocturne, arrived on the battlefield.
The darkness emanating from this creature is breathtaking. We cannot allow it to take over this planet. Time to show these warriors how to fight true darkness.
The angel spread his wings, and together with the god of destruction, they advanced towards the shadow creature, his presence radiating a luminosity that defied the malevolent nature of the dark aura. As it approached, the dark entities sensed the arrival of divine beings and turned to face the new threat.
Ha 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 ha! More insignificant beings! His light will be devoured by my darkness!
Don't underestimate the power of light. Darkness cannot resist the true essence of creation.
Owamo extended his hand, and a purifying light enveloped the battlefield, counteracting the dark effect of the creature's aura. Ewin, on the other hand, deployed the energy of destruction, creating a perfect balance between light and darkness. The shadow creature, for the first time, felt the pressure of forces that it could not easily absorb or resist. The conflict took a turn, and the battle became more intense as the angel and god of destruction faced the dark entity with a unique combination of light and destruction.
The real struggle starts now. We'll protect Thraxis Nocturne from the darkness you represent.
The fight between the angels and the shadow creature reached impressive levels, with bursts of energy illuminating the dark planet of Thraxis Nocturne. Meanwhile, the warriors, freed from the debilitating effects of the dark aura, watched the fight, hoping that their planet would not be destroyed. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.